We at the CPR Worldwide Media Network, your constitutional patriot radio station, would like to take a moment to reach out to a portion of our listening audience. To the NSA, the mainstream media, to liberals masquerading as conservatives who would like to see us off the air, and to those who are spinning their wheels trying to take us down, we have a special message just for you. At the CPR Worldwide Media Network, we're happy to be your 24/7, 365 obsession because, while you have your little panties in a wad, we're speaking truth to power, telling real conservatives what you don't want them to hear, the truth. And we're not gonna stop. Now then, back under your collective bridges with the rest of your fellow trolls, and oh yes, thanks for listening to CPR.
This is a station identification moment. You're listening to CPR Worldwide Media, a division of CPR Media Network, coming to you live right across the planet. Check out our website at www.cprworldwidemedia.com and our Facebook page at facebook.com/CPR Worldwide Media. This is CPR Media Network, coming to you live from the USA.
Well, looky here, a new listener. Hey, this ain't your little sister's radio station.
Has come for our voices to be heard, for our borders to be secured, and our immigration laws enforced. Welcome to the Ruthie Report. Let's start the show in the correct fashion. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Again, welcome to the Ruthie Report. Thank you for tuning in. Our guest this evening is James Johnson of NC Fire. And what we are going to discuss is December's child sex assaults at the hands of illegal aliens. Every month, this group, NC Fire, combs through court records, booking logs, and police reports documenting charges of first-degree rape, child pornography, statutory rape, incest, and many other crimes. Tonight we are going to discuss, what we're going to discuss is for 1 month in one state at the hands of illegal aliens. The numbers for December are 59 individuals with 230 charges. We will discuss the horrific details, how you can get involved, and how you can start this in your state. Tonight's show is going to anger and disgust you. It is preventable child sex assaults. All preventable if we only enforced our immigration laws. Now, what we are going to do is we are going to take a quick 3-minute commercial break. When we return, we will jump into lead stories. Please stay tuned.
How are things with the new guy?
All we do is go out to dinner.
That's it?
I mean, he picks up the tab every time, which is great.
Why? He's using you. He probably has a city thank you card and he gets 2 times the points at restaurants.
So he's just racking up points with me.
Some people.
Ugh.
No, I got it.
the Citi Thank You Preferred Card. Now earn 2 times the points on dining out and entertainment with no annual fee. To apply, go to Citi.com/thankyoucards.
The design of the Ford Escape is clearly intended to grab your eye. Oh, and your foot. Huh, ain't that a kick? The Ford Escape with the foot-activated liftgate. Go open up something interesting. Go further.
The moment you connect, you're no longer in control.
What does this guy want? No claim, no statement.
We're facing a nuclear meltdown.
This is only the beginning.
Black Hat, rated R.
However dark the night, however dim our hopes, the light is always there within you.
His family gave him hope.
You fight harder than those other guys, and you win.
His spirit gave him strength.
We're gonna die out here.
We're not dying!
And in his darkest hour,
who is the Olympic athlete?
His faith would not be broken.
Hello, Mother and Father. This will be the first time in 2 years that you'll have heard my voice. I wish you all a Merry Christmas. Your loving son, Louis.
On Christmas Day, experience the unbelievable true story of one man's journey home.
You can take it. You can make it. Just gotta believe you can.
If I can take it, I can make it.
Unbroken, rated PG-13, Christmas Day.
Read something recently worth thinking about. It's the soldier, not the campus organizer, who's given us freedom to demonstrate. It's the soldier, not the reporter, who's given us freedom of the press. It's the soldier, not the poet, who's given us freedom of speech. It's the soldier who serves under the flag, who defends the protesters' right to burn the flag. Isn't it time now to demonstrate that we support our troops? Were it not for the brave, there'd be no land of the free.
Fred Thompson's message was brought to you by citizensunited.org.
Welcome back to the Ruthie Report. Thank you for tuning in. Let's go ahead and get right to lead stories. Now, what I do with lead stories, just for the new listener here, is I share with you the news, the sources, and the dates so that you can research it yourself if you choose to do so. So let's get right to it. This is breaking news. It was announced today. It's from the New York Daily News, dated January 22nd. Smugglers are taking to the skies. An innovative bandit along the Mexican border was using a 6-propeller drone to transport meth into California when the drug-laden aircraft tumbled from the sky and into the border town supermarket parking lot in Tijuana. Some 6 pounds of narcotics, which was reported as crystal meth, were seized as the drone dropped near San Ysidro crossing at the Mexico border with California on Tuesday night. Smugglers have previously used small craft to ferry drugs into the United States. Distributors have previously used tunnels, catapults, and small planes to get their drugs to the American market. This is the news of the day. So any intelligent response would be choke the market. I'm just saying. So what will be the nation's response to this, folks? Or will this news tidbit just fade away into the dark of night like so many others? And why? Is it because money is changing hands? I'm just saying. I'm asking. I'm putting it out there. Is there too much money changing hands? Or is it because this open borders agenda overrides drugs on our streets? And here's something else to consider. Not even so much the drugs itself, but today cartels with drones delivering drugs. So then what when it's tomorrow and terrorists with drones delivering bombs? Think about it. If you are not scared about this nation's homeland security, I can only ask why not. It's so obviously, blatantly out there. Drones to deliver drugs. Really? Somebody has to get a grip on this. Now, next, this is from Top Right News, and his name is Brian Hayes, and I like the way he writes, and I use a lot of his material. The title is, Who Obama Chose as His Guest of Honor for the State of the Union Address is Infuriating Conservatives, and rightly so. It's dated January 20th. He says, there are a few things Barack Obama revels in doing more than angering conservatives. One is, last December, he expanded amnesty to 5 million of them, illegal aliens, ordering ICE and DHS not to deport them. Angry Republican lawmakers have vowed to fight the order, and 24 Republican governors have sued in federal court to stop him. So how does Obama respond? By inviting an illegal to be his guest of honor at the State of the Union speech, of course. This is from CNS News. Anna Zamora, who came to the United States illegally, is among 22 people selected to sit with the First Lady Michelle Obama at the State of the Union address. The White House describes Anna as a letter writer, student, and dreamer. She was brought here illegally as a child by her parents, who themselves illegal aliens. And that's exactly why she's being honored at the White House. Brian says, unbelievable, but pure Obama. No class, zero respect for the law, and yet another betrayal of his oath to uphold the Constitution. He continues, Obama's guest of honor is rewarded for violating the law, while all of the immigrants who have come here legally and work hard to make something of themselves are being completely ignored. It's infuriating. He ends with this. Pro tip for House Speaker John Boehner, you have a House jail and the power to arrest and detain lawbreakers. How about arresting this illegal the moment she walks through the door? That would send a message too. End of article. Here's my thoughts. First of all, let me just say, Obama is such an utter national disgrace. And I mean that. Throw our rule of law and Constitution under the bus, but to add a twist of the knife, do it on national television in an Obama in-your-face kind of style. Unbelievable. So what? This administration could not find 22 deserving Americans or legal residents to invite? Is that what they're saying? Do you know who Representative Duncan Hunter of California took to the State of the Union address? Our very own Marine, Andrew Timorsi. You know, the Marine who made a wrong turn in Mexico and declared his weapons, unlike Eric Holder and the Fast and Furious gang. Andrew Timorsi, who received absolutely no help from this administration, from Obama, as he lay in a Mexican jail watching Gitmo prisoners released. A Marine who served his country and deserves our respect. That is who Hunter took to the State of the Union address. Obama takes an illegal alien. Enough said. Enough said. Moving on. Just a couple quick ones here. There is yet another incorrect article on future voters at the Huffington Puffington Post. The title is, Republicans Say Goodbye to Latino Voters. It is dated January 17th. It goes on and on and on about how the Republican Party's actions are going to ruin any chance of Latino votes. Here's my thoughts. This article is such a biased, left to progressive leaning propaganda and BS. Stop clumping people together. Really, people, there are many Latinos and Hispanics, legal Hispanics, who do not support this lawlessness. One only needs to go to your Facebook page and punch in Latinos against, and illegal immigration pops right up. You know, the left must be getting scared that they are losing the battle and the debate to put out such garbage. It is propaganda meant to make you and I believe that we are losing this battle, and we are not. But then again, what can you expect from those who support this lawlessness? Just saying. Moving on. Here we go. This starts right, get me right away. This is from The Blaze, dated the 21st. The title is DHS, Implementation of Obama's Immigration Plan Starts in the Near Future. Homeland Security Secretary Jay Johnson said Wednesday that illegal immigrants will soon be able to apply for legal protection under Obama's Executive Action on Immigration. Johnson said Wednesday that DHS would soon be implementing Obama's immigration action. The government has estimated previously that a mid-February start is likely. Johnson used most of his op-ed to warn people. Get this. He's warning people that expanding protection for illegal immigrants does not mean that there has been any change in the government's policy towards illegal immigration. That happens going forward. It is, just a moment here. It is still the case that our borders are not open to illegal migration. Stop. I cannot even hardly get this out. You mean to tell me that Jay Johnson is telling us that he's going to implement Obama's illegal, unconstitutional immigration plan, but in the same sentence is telling us that there's no change in the government's policy towards illegal immigration? Oh, you have got to be kidding me. He says, quote unquote, it is still the case that our borders are not open to illegal migration. In fact, we are taking additional measures to prevent illegal migration now and in the future. Specifically, he noted that Obama's new policy only affects, are you ready for this? Only affects people who have lived in the country for 5 years, who have committed no serious crimes, and who have children who are citizens or lawful residents. Further, those who assist family members or others entering the country illegally risk being removed from the program. He goes on to say Obama has also moved to ease trade and travel rules with respect to Cuba. But here again, Johnson warned that that does not mean that the United States will start accepting Cuban refugees. Under current policy related to Cuba, the U.S. returns any Cuban migrants caught at sea, but allows Cubans to stay and seek residency if they make it to the United States. That's 1 foot in the water, 1 foot on the ground. Johnson said that the U.S. has more Coast Guard boats patrolling the coast, and said, as a result, Cubans are more likely to be caught at sea. End of article. This is just so mind-boggling garbage, I can't hardly believe it. It is just more games. Seeing no one is enforcing the law now, what difference does any requirement within this action really mean anyway? So Jay Johnson wants to reward those who have been in the country longer. We're rewarding those who have spit on the rule of law longer, eliminating anyone from the program who might not have come within this last 5 years. What an insult to our intelligence. I do not hear, I don't know about you, but I do not hear any deportation buses warming up for those that you did not include in this mindless, idiotic list, Jay. So, who is actually out there checking to see that this illegal alien has been here for 5 years, but this illegal alien has only been here for 4.5? It is just more games. And where in the hell is Congress to stop this lawlessness? I am sure that if there is any illegal alien out there that even cares to make the attempt at documentation fraud, that post-2009 document mills are running full speed as we speak. It is an asinine disrespect for the rule of law and our security by our own Department of Homeland Security. Stop this nonsense and lawless agenda and secure the border. Enforce our current immigration laws. I don't understand why that is so hard for them to figure out. But instead, what are we going to do? We're going to grant amnesty by presidential executive fiat. We got Homeland Security swallowing it up and taking it, giving us talking points that they're going to follow through and start this in mid-February. We're going to have all kinds of stipulations that nobody is going to check, rewarding those that have been here and spitting on the rule of law longer. But we're supposed to believe that there's no real change in illegal migration. You can't make this stuff up, folks. It's like an ice cream headache, seriously. Moving on. If you are not a member of Judicial Watch, meaning you have not received their January edition, you may want to just look it up. And this is what you have missed. There's one article in particular in there that Judicial Watch Freedom of Information Act request reveals. And for those of you that did not know this, I have reported on this before, but it reveals that Health and Human Services paid $182,129,786 for 4 months of housing of illegal alien children. $182 million. On September 9th of 2014, Judicial Watch received documents from the Department of Health and Human Services revealing that between June 12th and October 18th of this year, 2014, not 2015, the Obama administration paid the Baptist Children and Family Services, as most of us call the BCFS, $182 million plus to provide residential services to 2,400 unaccompanied alien children. 2,400. Tom Fitton of Judicial Watch, who is the president there, says, quote, unquote, "It is outrageous that the Obama administration spent nearly $2 million of taxpayer funds to provide illegal alien children with the types of extravagant, high-tech equipment and lavish benefits many American families cannot even afford for their own children." You know, folks, and please do look up Judicial Watch. It's a great source of information. This is unbelievable. While Americans struggle, illegal aliens are living large. Remember that the next time some pundit says that illegal immigration does not cost this nation and the American taxpayer. The really sad thing is, besides that information, the really super sad thing is that HHS is already seeking bids for the 2015 summer surge. I kid you not. They know it's coming. They're putting out bids. I just told you it cost us $182+ million, and HHS is planning for the next one. Apparently, border security is not on the radar. Secure the border. How many times can we say that? We can say it in our sleep and they're still not getting it. All right. I do have a tad bit of good news for you this evening. This is from Politico, dated the 21st. The title is Jeff Sessions to take over Senate panel overseeing immigration. Senator Jeff Sessions of Alabama, one of the most relentless critics of the Obama administration's immigration directives, is taking over the Senate's panel that oversees immigration, according to 3 sources familiar with the decision. Sessions is set to assume the chairmanship of the Senate Subcommittee on Immigration, Refugees, and Border Security, according to the sources, giving a key platform to advance his immigration policies. Senator David Vitter of Louisiana, a new member of the Judicial Committee, is going to be the panel's vice chair. The subcommittee chairmanship is a consolation prize of sorts for the Alabamian who gave up his bid to become the Senate Budget Committee chairman when Senator Mike Enzi exerted his seniority over Sessions on that panel. This is indeed probably the best news we have heard in some time. Gotta love Sessions. More power to the man. He has our support. Now, on the political front, there are several articles. This will be the last one before we take our first break here. There are several articles on the House Border Security Bill. That is H.R. 399. It is by Representative Michael McCall of Texas. FAIR has articles out, the Washington Examiner, the AP, a lot of people. But one sums up most of the information in a nutshell from H.R. 399 and beyond. It is at Politico.com. It is dated, where is it here? Just says January 2015. Let's see here. It's by Asun Min Kim and Amaya Rhea. I do not have a specific date. It says, top Republicans are exploring ways of escaping their political jam on immigration with steps that could avoid a funding cutoff for the Department of Homeland Security while letting conservatives vent their anger at Obama. Among the possible Plan Bs are that Republicans could pass a new bill to beef up security at the U.S.-Mexico border. They could sue to overturn Obama's unilateral protections for millions of undocumented immigrants, or, which we refer to as illegal aliens here, or they could pass yet another short-term DHS funding measure, giving the GOP more time to approve a strategy. Either way, Republican leaders hope to reach a deal that would allow Homeland Security funding to continue past February 27th, without making it appear to their right flank that they are caving to the White House. A number of Republicans, led by Ted Cruz of Texas, want the GOP to take a more aggressive action as possible, starting with the House bill. But Senate Republicans lack the votes to overcome a Democratic filibuster or an unexpected veto of the House plan. So the party's top lawmakers hope to quickly settle on a fallback strategy. The House earlier this month approved a plan 218 to 209 vote that would block Obama's post-election effort to grant nearly 5 million undocumented immigrants, illegal aliens, a 3-year reprieve from deportations and give them accompanying work permits. The House plan also takes aim at a 2012 directive that shielded young undocumented immigrants from being deported, while gutting a series of 2011 policies to limit deportation of people who weren't criminals or serial immigration violators. The House added immigration language to a $39.7 billion with a B, DHS spending bill that would keep the agency funded past February 27th. One avenue for Senate Republicans to place conservatives is to add language to the DHS funding measure that would toughen security along the southern border. Legislation unveiled last week by McCall has emerged as one way to showcase the GOP's position on the immigration issue. Here's the rub, folks. McCall's bill, which will head to markup in his committee on Wednesday, which we know passed, would among things require DHS to achieve operational control, preventing all illegal entries into the United States along the entire southern border within 5 years, and in high traffic areas within 2. And if DHS misses those timelines, political appointees at the department, are you ready for this, could face penalties such as a ban from using government aircraft and restrictions on bonuses and pay raises. Are you kidding me? So all of our homeland security to stop illegal entry into the United States on our southern border, which we have been from 1986 heard that we have to secure the border, all of this is in 2 years on a high entry, high traffic areas, and in 5 years in the rest of the border, or golly gee, DHS might not get a raise. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? This is ridiculous. As Dan Stein, for the president of FAIR, says, H.R. 399 is a loophole-ridden bill that fails to address the true causes of our nation's illegal immigration problem. Before we go to break, my thoughts. This is just more games and grandstanding, folks. Require DHS to have full control of the border in 5 years. Or they might get banned from government aircrafts. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Would anyone, step up and take our homeland security seriously? Please. There are a few, but not enough. If they wanted this border secured, it would be. It is just more political fluff. Empty promises and broken lies. I said that backwards. We are so tired of hearing this crap. It's the same crap, just a different year. If they wanted the border secured, it could be. Stop with the assault on our intelligence and the rule of law, not to mention throwing our homeland security under the bus. Do your job. Ensure our sovereignty, for criminy sakes. Secure the border. And if the Department of Homeland Security, as it stands right now, is unable to do its job, find someone who can. Stop with the games. It is insane. We are going to take our first break. When we come back, we will have tonight's criminally and/or insane segment. You will not believe what I have for you this evening. Please stay tuned.
This is a station identification moment. You're listening to CPR Worldwide Media, a division of CPR Media Network, coming to you live right across the planet.
Well, looky here, a new listener. Hey, this ain't your little sister's radio station.
You know what happens when we take away the late fees and penalty rate? No one misses them. The City Simplicity Card is the only card that never has late fees, a penalty rate, or an annual fee. Ever. Go to city.com/simplicity to apply.
The design of the Ford Escape is clearly intended to grab your eye. Oh, and your foot. Huh, ain't that a kick? The Ford Escape with the foot-activated liftgate. Go open up something interesting. Go further.
The moment you connect, you're no longer in control.
What does this guy want? No claim, no statement.
We're facing a nuclear meltdown.
This is only the beginning.
Black Hat, rated R.
However dark the night, however dim our hopes, the light is always there within you.
His family gave him hope.
You fight harder than those other guys, and you win.
His spirit gave him strength.
We're gonna die out here.
We're not dying!
And in his darkest hour,
Who is the Olympic athlete?
his faith would not be broken.
Hello, Mother and Father. This will be the first time in 2 years that you'll have heard my voice. I wish you all a Merry Christmas. Your loving son, Louis.
On Christmas Day, experience the unbelievable true story of one man's journey home.
You can take it. You can make it. Just gotta believe you can.
If I can take it, I can make it.
Unbroken, rated PG-13, Christmas Day.
Read something recently worth thinking about. It's the soldier, not the campus organizer, who's given us freedom to demonstrate. It's the soldier, not the reporter, who's given us freedom of the press. It's the soldier, not the poet, who's given us freedom of speech. It's the soldier who serves under the flag, who defends the protesters' right to burn the flag. Isn't it time now to demonstrate that we support our troops? Were it not for the brave, there'd be no land of the free.
Fred Thompson's message was brought to you by citizensunited.org.
Welcome back to the Ruthie Report. Thank you for tuning in. That signals tonight's criminally and or insane segment, and I have quite a bit of information for you, so we're going to just jump right in if we may. I want to make an announcement. We will be implementing a new program here at the Ruthie Report, primarily within the criminally and or insane segment. A new targeted course of action. I have been approached by many, but several recently, fellow Americans, patriots, those who themselves or their family members have been negatively and sometimes permanently impacted by crime at the hands of illegal aliens, contacted with pleas for assistance. Assistance because many times the illegal alien is receiving a slap on the wrist, or because no other resource will help them. Simply put, enough. I have had it. I am currently speaking with 3 such cases. The game plan is going to be this. I'm going to gather all of the information, find those that need to be contacted, and then turn the hounds loose per se, asking you for your assistance in making their pleas for assistance come true, come to life, demanding resolution in the forms of deportation and prison time, whatever the case may be. It is obvious, folks, that if we, the people, do not stand up for our own and demand justice, justice may never be served. Again, I have 3 families I will be contacting, and when all of the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed, I will ask that you consider aiding your fellow citizen. Please stay tuned here at the Ruthie Report for further details and the launch of this new Take Action program. It's about time that those that are pleading for help and assistance and receiving none receives it. And that will be from you and I. All right, tonight. The first one is from valleycentral.com, dated the 21st. Its title is Border Patrol Agent Shoots and Kills Drug Smuggler. A Border Patrol agent shot and killed a drug smuggler early Wednesday morning, according to the Starr County Sheriff's Office. Border Patrol says the incident happened at approximately 2 a.m. near Chapino, a small unincorporated community west of Roma. Agents told deputies that they apprehended 4 smugglers and were following the 5th when that person exchanged gunfire with the Border Patrol agents. The smuggler was shot several times and taken to the Starr County Hospital, where he died. The agent was not injured at all. You know, I have absolutely no sympathy at all for the smuggler. None. Zero. It's called enforcement. That's what it's called. You don't want to be shot. Don't come across our border illegally. Don't shoot at our Border Patrol, and you would still be alive. No sympathy. None. Moving on. TheBlaze.com. This is going to be mind-boggling. It boggles the mind, really, seriously. It's at The Blaze. It's dated the 16th. The title is Pennsylvania Caught Handing Out Food Stamps Welfare to Ineligible Migrants. That's what they call them. Illegal aliens, ineligible migrants. The Commonwealth of Pennsylvania has agreed to pay $48.8 million settlement after claims that it improperly handed out food stamps and welfare benefits to ineligible migrants for several years using federal funds. The Department of Justice claimed that Pennsylvania's Department of Human Services incorrectly used federal funds from 2004 to 2010 to disperse SNAP, Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, SNAP, benefits, also known as food stamps, and temporary assistance for needy family benefits, also known as welfare. The Department of Justice, do you believe this? The Department of Justice says Pennsylvania may have been a little too welcoming to non-citizens by handing out food stamps and welfare benefits to ineligible people. The settlement agreement amounts to a deal that will require Pennsylvania to at least partially pay back the federal government for using federal funds improperly. DOJ notes that under the Welfare Reform Act of 1996, only documented low-income aliens who have been in the country for 5 years can get Medicaid, welfare, or food stamps benefits. In addition, the eligibility of the alien must be verified. Pennsylvania will pay the settlement fee over 5 years in quarterly payments of $2.4 million of, here's the rub, non-federal funds. The structure of the agreement indicates that Pennsylvania is not being charged interest over the 5-year period. This is just simply mind-boggling. First, before I explain that, what say you, Pennsylvania taxpayers? This is going to be paid back with state taxes. It's an ice cream headache. It is alarming that the Department of Justice, one of the departments that are doing everything they can to reward illegal aliens, is the one that is going after Pennsylvania. Oh my God! I hope the rest of the states are paying attention. Go after illegal aliens like Arizona did, and you get sued. Turn a blind eye to illegal aliens, and you get sued. When is enough, folks? Really? I bet every single state is checking to make sure that those welfare benefits that are going to illegal aliens are going to those that have been here spitting on the rule of law the longest and can document everything, birth certificates, all that good stuff. Oh, that's right, Mexico's already sending them. Yeah. Well, good luck, Pennsylvania. The rest of you better be awake. Watch what's happening. This is from Valley Central as well. It was dated yesterday, I believe. or the day before, Customs stops 3 cocaine shipments in 3 days. In 3 days, 3 shipments. Attempting to avoid a detection, smugglers have recently sent smaller cocaine shipments through the Rio Grande Valley's border crossing, according to U.S. Customs and Border Protection. Smugglers will utilize the small load concept at international crossings, but our frontline officers continue vigilantly remaining astute and unhindered, said Border Patrol Director Efren Solis Jr. Solis oversees the 3 major border crossings in Hidalgo County. Here's the cases. On Friday, a 25-year-old Mexican man attempted to cross the Gateway International Bridge in Brownsville, where officers found 3 packages containing nearly 3.36 kilograms of cocaine stashed in the vehicle. On Saturday, a Mexican man attempted to cross the Hidalgo-Reynosa Bridge. Officers found 3 packages of cocaine hidden inside the car battery. On Sunday, another 25-year-old Mexican man attempted to cross the Gateway Bridge, and officers found 10 packages containing nearly 11 kilograms, or actually 11.48 kilograms of cocaine hidden inside the car. Federal court records identified the driver as Felipe de Jesus Cruz, who told investigators that he was paid $700 for the trip. Yeah. Next, Breitbart.com, dated the 20th. This is the title. Second Mexican Border University closes doors over cartel threats. I am not making this up. This is out of McAllen, Texas. A Mexican university in the border city of Nuevo Laredo has temporarily shut its doors, citing safety concerns as after a series of apparent cartel threats. Citing security concerns, the Mexican news outlets reported. However, a Tamaulipas law enforcement officer confirmed to Breitbart, Texas, that the school has closed its doors following a series of cartel threats. This is the second Mexican university to close its doors following cartel threats in recent months. The city of Nuevo Laredo is under the control of the Los Zetas, a drug cartel that has earned great fame for its violent tactics, as well as branching out into extortion, kidnapping, human trafficking, and other violent crimes. Calls to the UVM Nuevo Laredo by Breitbart, Texas were not answered. As previously reported by Breitbart, Texas, the Universidad Valle de Mexico from Reynosa closed its doors temporarily after members of the Gulf Cartel tried to extort the university. UVM is one of the largest private universities in Mexico with campuses throughout the nation. You know, gee folks, why is this news not splattered all over our television sets? Couldn't be because they don't want us to know what's happening in the third world country just below our unsecured southern border, could it? Or maybe it's just because it doesn't fit their political destructive agenda. Either way, there are those who will say, this can't happen here. It's probably the same people that say our borders are secure and that we don't have 13 to 20 million plus individuals entering the country illegally, or in the country illegally, right? The same people that are telling us not to worry are the same ones that are going to say it won't happen here. Wake up, America. Wake up. Now this next one, this is just unbelievable. I don't even know what to make of this. Really. This is from townhall.com, and it's Katie Pavlik has wrote this one. And it's dated today, and there's just something missing here. Last week, an Ohio man with sympathized to ISIS was arrested for plotting to blow up the Capitol building. Just 3 years ago, Emi El Khalafi, was arrested and charged on similar count after planning to use a suicide vest to carry out an attack on the Capitol. At the time, Khalafi lived in the same apartment complex as did I in Northern Virginia, just outside of Washington, D.C. He was in the United States as an illegal immigrant after living on an expired visa for years and frequently attended the mosque at Falls Church. Federal authorities on Friday arrested the 29-year-old Moroccan man in an alleged plot to carry out a suicide bombing at the U.S. Capitol, the latest in a series of terrorism-related arrests resulting from an undercover sting operation. When arrested a few blocks from the Capitol around lunchtime on Friday, he was carrying what he believed to be a loaded automatic weapon and a suicide vest ready for detonation. The gun and the vest were provided not by Al-Qaeda, as Gaddafi was led to believe, but by an undercover FBI agents who rendered them inoperable. She ends with, "Stay vigilant, America." Wait. So in 2012, he was arrested for wanting to wage jihad and at the same time was an illegal alien. Now, 3 years later, 2015, with continued and renewed plans of bombing jihad, he was arrested again with a machine gun, some sources say, and a suicide vest. Am I missing something here? Why is he still in the United States, or at least not in jail? Did he sneak back in, or did he just renew his visa with our government's blessing? Or I just don't know. Can't make heads or tails of this. It is really quite unclear. There seems to be a lot within this tale that seems puzzling and confusing. However, he was arrested on Friday. The bottom line is this. Because this administration and Congress refused to enforce our immigration laws and remove lone wolves like this Khalafi, our individual and national security interests are at risk. Each and every one of us. Gives you that warm, snuggly feeling, doesn't it? Makes you just warm all over. Moving on. This is from universalfreepress.com. Dave Gibson, dated the 18th. Illegal alien impregnated 11-year-old girl in North Carolina. This is just so disgusting. December 20th, 2014, Holt County Sheriff's deputies arrested Victor Miguel Ramirez, 33, after he responded to Scotland Memorial Hospital where an 11-year-old girl was receiving treatment following a sexual assault. Ramirez raped the girl several times between May 1st and December 20th. The girl is now pregnant as a result of the assaults, reports WRAL. Ramirez has been charged with 2 counts of first-degree statutory rape. He is currently being held at the Holt County Detention Center on a ICE detainer. This is in North Carolina, and this is exactly what our guest tonight, James Johnson from NC Fire, and I are going to be discussing. So we will discuss this one a little bit more detail when James joins the program. Next. IllegaliAlienCrimeReport.com, Dave Gibson, dated the 17th. Obama. Illegal alien wife beaters won't be deported. That is the title. Illegal alien wife beaters won't be deported. On November 20th, the Department of Homeland Security Chief Jay Johnson, and yes, I'm making fun of his name, Jay Johnson, issued the memo entitled Policies for the Apprehension, Detention, and Removal of Undocumented Immigrants, which among other things classifies illegal aliens with domestic violent convictions as a priority offender. The memo states, and I quote, aliens described in this priority, who are also not described in priority 1, represent the second highest priority for apprehension and removal. Resources should be dedicated accordingly to the removal of the following: aliens convicted of a significant misdemeanor which for these purposes is an offense of domestic violence. Well, folks, that sounds pretty good, doesn't it? Sounds right? Wrong. As Dave continues in his article, however, a footnote to the paragraph reads as it follows, and I quote, in evaluating whether the offense is a significant misdemeanor, whether the offense is a significant misdemeanor involving domestic violence, careful consideration should be given to whether the convicted alien was also a victim of domestic violence. If so, this should be a mitigating factor. As Dave says, in other words, he gets to stay. So if an illegal alien is convicted of domestic violence for beating his girlfriend or wife, he can simply claim that he was once a victim of abuse as well, and he can continue to live his life in what is becoming a lawless nation. Dave concludes with, this is yet another ploy by a criminal president to allow criminal aliens to stay in this country. Okay, my thoughts before we take our second break, and then we will be joined by our guest, James Johnson of NC Fire. Here's my thoughts. Stop with all the priority list crap. He or she is an illegal alien and should be deported. They are in the country illegally. Illegal entry is a crime. What part of this are they not getting? Stop making new laws and categories to protect the already lawless. Just enforce the current laws on the books. This is ridiculous. We are going to take our second break. When we come back, we will be joined by a friend, fellow patriot, James Johnson. And again, tonight's guest, the information we have to share for you will nauseate you and infuriate you, and I hope motivate you to get involved. Please stay tuned. We will be right back.
This is a station identification moment. You're listening to CPR Worldwide Media, a division of CPR Media Network, coming to you live right across the planet. Check out our website at www.cprworldwidemedia.com and our Facebook page at facebook.com/CPR Worldwide Media. This is CPR Media Network, coming to you live from the USA.
Well, looky here, a new listener. Hey, this ain't your little sister's radio station.
Why do cities shine so bright? It's the glow of opportunities, of ideas bouncing off one another, of countless people, every one of us, striving to succeed. Right now, in cities everywhere, ideas are being born. New thinking that will put us in awe of what people are capable of. That's what lights cities up, and helping people and their ideas to burn even brighter, so that communities, businesses, and you and I can grow. What if a bank made that its job? For more than 200 years, Citi's job has been to help empower people and business. Now, around the world, it's wherever people gather, wherever ideas come alive. It's wherever you are. Falls City.
The most amazing thing about the Ford Fusion isn't the way it looks. The most amazing thing is the way it sees. With blind spot technology, a lane keeping system, and a standard rear view camera, the Fusion is ready for whatever comes your way. Go prepared. Go further.
The moment you connect, you're no longer in control.
What does this guy want? No claim, no statement.
We're facing a nuclear meltdown.
This is only the beginning.
Black Hat, rated R.
However dark the night, however dim our hopes, the light is always there within you.
His family gave him hope.
You fight harder than those other guys, and you win.
His spirit gave him strength.
We're gonna die out here. We're not dying!
And in his darkest hour,
Who is the Olympic athlete?
his faith would not be broken.
Hello, Mother and Father. This will be the first time in 2 years that you'll have heard my voice. I wish you all a Merry Christmas. Your loving son, Louis.
On Christmas Day, experience the unbelievable true story of one man's journey home.
You can take it. You can make it. Just gotta believe you can.
If I can take it, I can make it.
Unbroken, rated PG-13, Christmas Day.
Read something recently worth thinking about. It's the soldier, not the campus organizer, who's given us freedom to demonstrate. It's the soldier, not the reporter, who's given us freedom of the press. It's the soldier, not the poet, who's given us freedom of speech. It's the soldier who serves under the flag, who defends the protesters' right to burn the flag. Isn't it time now to demonstrate that we support our troops? Were it not for the brave, there'd be no land of the free.
Fred Thompson's message was brought to you by citizensunited.org.
Welcome back to the Ruthie Report. Thank you for tuning in. At this time, we are going to bring our guest onto the program. His name is James Johnson of NC Fire, and what we are going to be discussing tonight is December's child sex assaults at the hands of illegal aliens. Now, before I bring James on, just a little bit about him. North Carolina stands for North Carolinians for Immigration Reform and Enforcement. James is a graduate of the M.B. Riddle Aeronautic University. He is a military veteran, served the United States Air Force as a flight simulator technician, and in the private sector was an electronic equipment technician and electrician. He is currently on medical retirement and disability and was becoming more and more aware of the illegal alien situation and had to jump in. Are you with us, James?
Yeah, yes, I am, Ruthie, and thank you for inviting me this evening.
Well, thank you for being my guest this evening. Just so everyone understands, James Johnson, NC Fire. I'm going to let him say a little bit and give you the link so you can go and look him up now. But James has been on my program in the past. Each month when he puts out their report from NC Fire, Maureen Wilson as well, I do share that, and I will share that in the future. But being at the new venue at CPR, at Constitutional Patriot Radio here, I felt that this was really important for the new listeners to hear what James and Maureen are doing and their message, and to get everybody on board. So, welcome to the program. Thank you again for being my guest, my friend. Do you want to go ahead and share with the listeners a little bit about yourself before we jump in?
Well, sure. You covered a lot of it, the background and all. It's just that I got injured at work, and during the recovery, I was seeing, actually what I was seeing was people that were injured on the job who were not able to speak English. They had interpreters. I was going through rehabilitation, and there were people that were actually going through rehabilitation with me that actually had interpreters with them because they couldn't speak the language. Well, that was, just one of the many things. Like other people, it starts off with the, press 1 for English, which absolutely infuriates me. We are an English-speaking country. Why should we have to press anything to get the language that we speak? And one thing just led to another, and it really came to a head when my son's professor in college, him and his wife were returning from the beach here in North Carolina one Sunday evening, and a drunk illegal alien, smashed into the car and wiped him out. Killed him, permanently disabled her, and at that point I just said, you know what, something's got to be done. Somebody's got to do something. And so that's pretty much how I got into it. I started a nonprofit organization, NC Fire. NCFire.info is where we are on the web. And it pretty much started out with just me and my computer and a small email list. And in going on 8 years now, we've grown to over 6,000 members on our email distribution list. And we're in daily contact with 40 to 50,000 people across the state through various social media outlets. Okay. So we're
James,
growing, and we're trying to get things done.
Yeah, and I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure that you guys continue to grow for everything you do. Now, James is the president of NC Fire. All of you that are listening now, if you would like to go and look up the website while you're listening to the program, the website is ncfire.info, not .org, not .com, but .info. And there is a PDF when you go there that will pop up right away about December's child rapes, which we will be discussing tonight. So if you want to pull that up while you're listening, that's where you go. All right, so exactly how long did you say you've been doing these reports?
Actually, well, the organization started in 2007, but we are on the current report we're doing now is the child rapes by illegal aliens, and this is going on month number 13.
13. Okay, I couldn't remember when it was that you started this. The report for December is 18 pages long. You had sent me one the last time you were a guest on the program, and it was like 32 pages or something. I didn't even copy all of them. I only copied the first 5 or 6 pages, and you and I couldn't get past that anyway. But I did copy all of these this evening, and it is just alarming. It is, James.
What people don't realize is that the age of consent, and a lot of people do, and a lot of people don't. The age of consent in Mexico is 12. As low as 12. Now they import that over here when they come here. They think it's fine to sexually abuse our children. And in the past 13 months, we've been able to document over 4,500 separate charges of child rape in North Carolina, and it's every month. It's the same thing every month. And it's 80 to 100 individuals every month with 250 to 600, 700 charges every month. And all of this is actually on our website by the month. You can download and look at every one of them.
Yep, all of them are there. And I want to make clear to the listeners that what we are discussing, for example, December's number are 59 individuals with 230 charges. This is for 1 month in one state at the hands of just illegal aliens. All preventable. This did not have to happen if the powers that be, this administration, Congress, and those that we elected to represent us would do their damn job. This did not have to happen.
No, that's correct. And actually, we are attempting to get things done at the state level because it's highly unlikely that anything's going to get done with this administration. they're just not going to do it, and I don't know if there's enough votes to overturn a veto on any kind of immigration enforcement. So what your listeners can do, states do have the right to protect themselves, and they can enforce illegal immigration laws. The Supreme Court has already ruled. There's some things they can't do. However, all they're doing is enforcing the federal law at the state level, and so your states can do something about it, and that's what we're attempting to do here in North Carolina, is force our legislature to enact and enforce immigration laws at the state level.
Now, before we forget, and I get too, because I'll get talking here and I'll forget, do you want to explain a little bit of Maureen Wilson for everyone, just so we get Maureen in there and then we can move forward?
Yeah, sure. Maureen and I met. I was actually involved with another group, a nationwide group, the Fire Coalition. I got involved with them. Actually, I came home and started looking around the internet to try to find groups that were doing something about illegal immigration, and I found the Fire Coalition and joined them. And Maureen and I met because we both live in North Carolina, and we both were a member of this organization. We sort of got put in charge, volunteered, elected, or whatever you want to call it, to organize the states in North Carolina and states around us into these groups. And as we did that and went through that process, we realized that no one was looking out for North Carolina specifically. So after we had completed the task for the Fire Coalition, we decided to resign and start our own separate NC Fire that looks out specifically for North Carolina. So that's how really all that came about.
I would like to just suggest to the listeners that they grab a piece of pen and paper so that they can write down your information, your email, your website at the end of the interview today, so that it's been my hope. James has actually been on the program a couple of times, and each time I've had him on, I really kind of push the incentive to get people in other states involved and start the same process and program in your own state. If every state was doing this, and the media wouldn't be able to ignore it, the heat would be excessive and something would be done. But what it takes is a few patriots that have some extra time on their hands. And James, I don't mean to put you on the spot. You know that I wouldn't do that to you. But if we, he laughs. I love it. If at the end of the program, if there are people that wanted to consider doing this in their own state, that would be okay with you. That we'll give out your email address, and you would, of course, assist them.
Absolutely. We'd love to help anyone who would like to start down this road and try to get something done in their states. No problem whatsoever.
Oh, James, you are a good friend. Okay, now, I just want to make one clarification, and this is Ruthie speaking. This is not James. I'm sure you probably agree with me, but I can already hear the moles and the trolls that are tuning in, listening to this program, saying, well, Americans rape children too. That is very true. And instead of wasting our valuable resources and law enforcement and the lives of our children by combating illegal aliens who are in this country unlawfully that are raping our children, if we did not have the illegal aliens in this country, the sexual deviants that they are, doing this, we could concentrate more on the American sexual deviants. How is that for you?
Not only that, Ruthie, but the other point is, the people that say that, all right, I want them to tell me how we stop that.
Exactly.
How do we prevent even one of those rapes? Well, I know how we can stop all of these. Now, I would like for them to tell me how we stop the quote-unquote Americans that are raping children too.
Yep.
So we know how to stop this.
Yep, and that's always their argument. They always deflect off of, like, for example, tonight, your and my conversation is very pointed and very direct in what we're going to discuss here. And I'm so tired of them trying to shift gears and pursue another path to avoid staying on topic and what we're discussing. I don't want to hear about what everybody else is doing. I don't want to hear what's doing this, what's going on there. I want to hear the solution to stopping illegal aliens in this country from sexually assaulting children. And the way to do that is to enforce our immigration laws and secure the border so they cannot come back. Period. It's just that simple. It really is.
That's right.
Okay, so now, you said that this is your 13th month of doing these reports, and you're going to laugh again. He's going to laugh at me again, but I had asked James the last time he was on the program, so maybe he's kind of prepared for this. Out of all of the things that you have read, how disgusted you may be, and I read all of your stuff too, so is there one particular instance, case, story, or something before we jump into the report for December that sticks in your mind, something that just grabs you?
Well, I'm sure there is. However, it starts to melt all together, and it's just all disgusting. There's not necessarily one in particular that's more heinous than the other. A child being raped, in my eyes, the brutality of how it happened, it just adds to the fact that it's heinous to begin with. And there are individuals that have upwards of 20 and 30 charges. Yeah, there's some that have one, but which one is worse than the other? In my eyes, neither one.
We have a report here. Where is it? This is at universalfreepress.com by our good friend Dave Gibson. And again, I selfishly want to take a second just to thank Dave Gibson for his continued reporting, keeping us educated on this stuff. But the article in particular, and I did tell listeners in the Criminally and or Insane segment tonight that you and I would be discussing this case. This is the illegal alien that impregnated an 11-year-old girl in North Carolina.
Yeah,
Victor Miguel Ramirez. Jeez. James, I would ask you how you handle this day in and day out, but there are many of us that just seem to trench through. I mean, I sometimes
the only thing I can say is that I've got to get through it. I've got to do it.
Yep.
Put a stop to it. I just have to keep pushing forward.
We have no choice.
And try not to take any of them or get involved with them too emotionally. If I was to stop and really, get emotionally involved with this, I don't know that I could do it, to be honest with you.
Now, what I did not read in Dave's report or article was, first of all, we have this Ramirez. Of course, he's in a detention center on an ICE detainer, which means he is in the country illegally, and he raped a child several times between the month of May 1st and December 20th, and now she is impregnated, and she's 11 years old. That is just sickening. I'm sorry. I just can't come up with another.
Well,
I can, but
that is the norm of these reports, Ruthie. That's what's so bad about it. All of these reports, 11, 12, 13. It's not like just a 17-year-old having sex with a 16-year-old, like normal kids do. It's not that at all. You have 39-year-old men who, just this month, got a report just today of a 39-year-old man. Let me pull it up real quickly.
That's okay.
They're charging with 28 different counts of statutory rape of a 13-year-old girl since 2012. A 39-year-old man.
And how old is she?
And she's 13. Been raping her now for 3 years.
Oh my God.
And this is the norm. All of these reports. That's just the norm.
In Dave's article, the one that I was reading about the 11-year-old, he also included, and I waited until you were on the program to add these. Dave says, while this crime might be shocking to most, it is not uncommon as one might think. For example, in August of 2012, Raimundo Hernandez, 25, was arraigned in Missouri after he reportedly had multiple sexual encounters with a 12-year-old that got her pregnant. And in July of 2012, Luis Perez Vecina, 34, in North Carolina, again, was Superior Court to first-degree rape of an 11-year-old, and the rape resulted in the girl's pregnancy. This is just utterly sick. Sexual deviant doesn't cover it.
Right. And Mr. Ramirez, the one you're referring to begin with, he's 33 years old, raping an 11-year-old girl, getting her pregnant. This is, like they said, this is just the norm for them.
Okay, so let's tell us a little bit, I know how, but so that the listeners understand how you come up with these lists and how you come up with these names. And again, remember, listeners, this is just for 1 month in one state, just illegal aliens. How is it that you come by all of this information? Because you know the moles and the trolls are going to say, how do you know that? So can you explain how you and Maureen gather this information?
Certainly, and one other thing to keep in mind, this is not all of them. This is just the ones that we were able to find. There are 100 counties in North Carolina, and we cannot physically check all 100 sheriff's departments, arrest reports, all the local township police and city police report. We just can't do it. So these are the ones that we were able to document in a month's time before we had to start making the list for the next month. So it's not all of them. But what we do is, generally what we do is, we scour arrest reports from the sheriff's departments, arrest reports from police departments, as many as we can. We go on the internet, we scour the news, television news websites, the radio station news sites for arrest reports, and every one of these has the link. We include the link to the article or to the arrest report for the actual article, so that there is no doubt, no one can say that you're just making this stuff up. We include the links. It is very time-consuming, however, it's just something that we're trying to bring to the attention of the North Carolina legislature that we've got a serious problem. And this is, okay, don't take me wrong, but this is just the child rape. We gave up on doing the monthly crime reports because it just became such an ordeal and overwhelming task that we couldn't do it.
That is the one that was like 80 pages or something? It was
absolutely anywhere from
ungodly number.
Pages every month, every single month. And those are all archived on our website as well. But like I said, we just had to quit. We couldn't keep up with it. It's impossible.
So just let me plug in there. Anybody that is listening right now from North Carolina, it is obvious that James and Maureen would gladly accept volunteers. Help.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Looking through the newspapers, ads, local television stations, all of that kind of thing. So for those in North Carolina, if you want to get on board, again, you can go to ncfire.info now if you want and go to their email there, or we will be giving it at the end of the show tonight too. Okay.
It's very easy, and while we're talking about it, let me go ahead and give it now.
Okay.
The email address is ncfire@ncfire.info. Simple as that.
Okay, do it again.
ncfire@ncfire.info.
Okay, I'm going to write that down. I have it. Oh, there it is. Yes, I already had that. Oh, I'm so good I don't even know it, James. Look at that. Okay, so now you go through now. You are just narrowing the field down to just child sexual assaults. What you do is you go through all of the resources, public information. I don't know about in North Carolina, but you can pull up jail rosters in Minnesota and actually see who is in the jail. And actually,
you can do that here too. You can also pull up the court dockets, daily court docket for the month, which lists all of the court cases, and for the month, every day, and so we go through that as well.
You had mentioned, and I guess what I'm going to do is we have to take a break at 9:30, and what I would like to do is save the report itself until we come back from that break. But you had said before something about, this is in many of the counties or states, whatever they call them in Mexico, really what areas, the consent age is 12. Some of the consent age is 14 in some of them, but I have reported numerous times on how women are treated by their fellow counterparts in Mexico, and it's absurd. It's alarming.
Horrendous. It's absolutely horrendous. There is no respect for women whatsoever.
No, and women have fought down there, and of course the liberal progressive media here will never report on that. It's always the plight of the poor illegal. Well, why in the hell is the Mexican government and all the governments from all of the around the globe that people are entering here illegally, why don't they make the situation better in their own country so their people don't have to flee the homeland? Anyway, but what you had said is you had talked about the 12-year-old. It is the mentality. That is what it is that is flooding this nation. I remember it must have been maybe 5-6 years ago, our local radio station in a bigger city about 30 miles away was actually playing an ad that was telling people that it was not okay to have sexual relations with a person if they said no. This was actually broadcasted almost like a infomercial on the radio, and primarily it was suggested that this was so that all of those that were illegally in the area understood that they just can't have sex with whoever they want at any time. Are you serious? Are you kidding me? What are we importing and allowing illegally to enter into this country? And our children are the ones that are paying the price.
Yeah, you would think that going through the if you go through the citizenship process, you would know something about our laws. However, that's not what they want. They don't care about our laws. They just want to come over here and get what they can and not pay into the system. And they have no allegiance to the United States whatsoever.
None. Now, on the crimes that you do have you followed up on really any of the cases specifically that you have seen from start to finish to know, and this is my question, this is what I'm getting at, are a lot of these illegal aliens getting a slap on the wrist? Many times we're heard behind the scenes they're given the option to just deport, which is such a joke because they're deported the next day or two, they're back in North Carolina. We see that all of the time. Do you know, is our legal system approaching this, specifically in North Carolina, evenly with blind justice, and they're really getting
No.
Okay.
No. The answer to your question is no. Occasionally you will see a follow-up report where an individual was sentenced to prison, but a lot of them you never hear again. You never hear again about the outcome of their case. Now, the magnitude and the numbers that we're dealing with, we certainly don't have the resources to go back and follow up on every, even a great deal of them. It's just impossible. So no, the answer to your question is no. We don't see the conviction rate that you would think.
Yep, we had one that was
these numbers.
Just 15 miles from my house. And I'll be damned if I can find anything about it now. You know, and I could push the issue, and I could take all of my time and energy and stop everything else I'm doing and go after this one person, only to find out, which, for the listeners that do not know, a lot of times there's either a plea bargain, they get a slap on the wrist, or if they are seriously going to be addressed for their crime, they are given the option of being deported without any jail time. We deport them on taxpayer dime, fly them in, and they're back. You know, and it's the notorious case of the woman in Wisconsin. It comes to mind every single time. He was beating the crap out of her, and she finally turned him in. The cops came, arrested him. He took deportation instead of any charges. They shipped him out. 5 days later, he was back in Wisconsin. 5 days. You know.
Yeah, the same occurs here as well. They have this threshold that they must meet. Illegal aliens must meet before they get deported of a serious crime, committing a serious crime. Well, I would like for somebody to tell me what a serious crime is. You know, a crime is a crime is a crime. They get chances that American citizens don't get.
Well, they've already committed a crime of entering the country illegally. They shouldn't even be here, James.
I agree, absolutely. However, the loophole in all of this talk about, yeah, let's do this and that and come to some agreement, but the loophole is always there, that somebody is given the opportunity to determine whether this person should be deported because of their determination of did he commit a serious crime. Well, is raping a woman a serious crime enough? How many times? How many misdemeanors do you get to commit before it becomes, okay, 3 misdemeanors and now that equals 1 serious? See, there's too much vague gray area, and it's just up to someone's decision. So none of them generally are getting deported at the federal level because of this administration's attitude and direction that they're heading with the illegal immigrants.
Yeah, it's kind of, you know, simply put, how many children and how many charges are enough to satisfy that pro-illegal, lawless establishment? I tell you what now, James.
How many does it take?
Yeah, how many does it take, exactly. We are going to take just a 3-minute break, James, and then when we come back, what I would like to do is go ahead and then jump right into some of these cases and some of the charges against these individuals. It is so nauseating. I just... Some of the stuff I have read is just beyond the pale. So please stay tuned, James. We will be right back, okay?
Thank you. Yeah.
All right, folks, we will be right back with our guest, James Johnson of NC Fire, right after this commercial break.
This is a station identification moment. You're listening to CPR Worldwide Media, a division of CPR Media Network, coming to you live right across the planet. Check out our website at www.cprworldwidemedia.com and our Facebook page at facebook.com/CPR Worldwide Media. This is CPR Media Network, coming to you live from the USA.
Well, looky here, a new listener. Hey, this ain't your little sister's radio station.
It's not about how many miles you can get out of the C-Max Hybrid. It's about how much life you can fit into it. The Ford C-Max Hybrid, with an EPA estimated range of 540 miles on a tank of gas, and all the room you need to enjoy the trip. Go stretch out. Go further.
When I'm training, I always listen to music. For the gym, it's hip-hop. For cross-country, classical. And for jumps, I need something special. So I use my Citi Thank You Visa card for music downloads and earn 2 times the points. Plus, a little extra inspiration.
Excuse me while I kiss the sky.
The Citi Thank You Preferred Visa Card. Earn 2 times the points on entertainment and dining out with no annual fee. Citi, with you every step of the way.
The moment you connect, you're no longer in control.
What does this guy want? No claim, no statement.
We're facing a nuclear meltdown.
This is only the beginning.
Black Hat, rated R.
However dark the night, however dim our hopes, the light is always there within you.
His family gave him hope.
You fight harder than those other guys, and you win.
His spirit gave him strength.
We're gonna die out here.
We're not dying!
And in his darkest hour,
Who is the Olympic athlete?
his faith would not be broken.
Hello, Mother and Father. This will be the first time in 2 years that you'll have heard my voice. I wish you all a Merry Christmas. Your loving son, Louis.
On Christmas Day, experience the unbelievable true story of one man's journey home.
You can take it. You can make it. Just gotta believe you can.
If I can take it, I can make it.
Unbroken, rated PG-13, Christmas Day.
Read something recently worth thinking about. It's the soldier, not the campus organizer, who's given us freedom to demonstrate. It's the soldier, not the reporter, who's given us freedom of the press. It's the soldier, not the poet, who's given us freedom of speech. It's the soldier who serves under the flag, who defends the protesters' right to burn the flag. Isn't it time now to demonstrate that we support our troops? Were it not for the brave, there'd be no land of the free.
Fred Thompson's message was brought to you by citizensunited.org.
Welcome back to the Ruthie Report. Thank you for tuning in. Let me just click here. All right. Before we begin with Fred Thompson's announcement there, James, I would like to thank you for your service to our country.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Okay. So now, listeners, we have our guest, James Johnson of NC Fire. What we are going to discuss now is their December child rapes report. 59 individuals with 230 charges. One state, just in North Carolina, just at the hands of illegal aliens for 1 month, and it is alarming. Do you want to start with any one particular case, or you want me just to go through?
You might as well go start it. I'll let you lead, and I will follow.
Okay. Thank you, James. Okay. We already talked about Ramirez impregnating that 11-year-old. Do you know in that case, for example, a lot of times, it used to be a lot more. Now it's kind of general any child, but it used to be that the illegal alien rapists kind of stayed in their own communities and assaulted their own fellow illegals and families, friends. Of course, we're seeing a lot more of it spreading out in the general public now. But do you know anything about this 11-year-old? Was this a family friend or?
It apparently he was a foster parent. Actually, now we do get some of that as being incest by the step parent, some by the real parent. There is some of that. However, the majority of it is them raping children unbeknownst to them, along with kidnapping and everything else. So yeah, there is some of that, but it's grown well beyond the way it quote unquote used to be of staying within their community and their own children and their neighbors, familiar children.
This Victor Miguel Ramirez, that's the one we're talking about, right?
Right.
He was a foster parent?
Yes.
But he is an illegal alien.
And he had actually adopted the victim.
Oh my God. Oh.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
So was a foster parent, took this child in, raped her, I did read somewhere where they said that, where was that? That they did not know, where was that?
They did not know how long the girl had been pregnant, or how long he had been raping her. But they narrowed it down between May 1st and December 2nd this year. So.
And where were child services for this? And he is an illegal alien, is he not?
Yeah, and somebody should have been checking up on him.
Oh my God, not only did we let this sexual deviant in our country, not only did he get to stay because of this administration and previous administration's lawlessness, then in North Carolina, they make him a foster parent. They let him adopt this child, and she's 11 and pregnant. You know what? Somebody needs to be held accountable, and let's take it all the way up to the top and just throw Obama in on it as well. What do you say?
Yeah, absolutely. It starts at the top. It comes from the top down. And the only way to solve this at this current time is from the bottom up at your state and local level, and that's the way that we're attempting to do it here in North Carolina.
All right.
It's not going to come from the top down.
Oh, my God. All right. Now, I did notice what's a little bit different on your report this time is the first 14 of them, it didn't list it in your normal graph status. Right. Is there a reason for that? Because of the counties?
Well, yeah, no, what we did is we actually flipped all of the reports. We used to have the North Carolina court calendar as the first thing and run through the list of all the court cases and charges for the month. However, it got to be so long, and it is so long, that people were missing the actual reports from newspapers, different individual county arrest reports, the individual actual, charges and newspaper articles. So we decided to put all of those at the top of every report and list the court cases last.
Okay.
So that the cases would be seen first.
Okay, let me just pick a few out of here. For example, number 5, Carlos Lazaro Rivero, 52. Arrest warrants that were carried out for 5 counts of second-degree sexual exploitation of a minor.
52 years old.
Investigators estimated that the girls shown in the videos of his internet child pornography, the girls ranged from ages 1 to 3 and 11 to 13 years of age. He is being held on
a
1 to 3.
A 2-year-old, a 3-year-old. That is sick. That's absolutely sick.
Some of this just... let's see here. Let's just move on. Miguel Ramirez, we already have done him. This is out of Winston-Salem, a man charged with the rape of a child, taking place in 2013.
Under 13 years old.
Yes.
The next one is a Rayford man, North Carolina. 2-year-old, well, I'm sorry, that was the one we talked about earlier, the pregnant girl.
Yeah.
And it just goes on and on and on.
Okay.
45-year-old taking indecent liberties with a child. A 63-year-old taking indecent liberties with a child.
And then we start getting to where you are actually listing their court cases. For example, number 17. Oh, my God. Jose Jesus Villasino. Whatever.
Good luck, yeah.
Yeah, thank you, James. You didn't jump in to help me out, bud. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 counts. 10 counts of first-degree sexual offense of a child. 10 counts for this one guy.
Yeah. And if you scroll through the court cases, you'll find some with, upwards of... I scroll down to number 50, for instance. Jose Luis Rodriguez. I believe I counted 24 counts a felony sex offense with a child.
Yeah, I have that one. I have that one highlighted too. Yep. His court date was 12/15. It doesn't say his age here, but we have, these are some of the charges. Some of the charges. We have 6 counts right off the get-go of felony rape of a child. Then we have felony statutory rape sex offense greater than a 6-year-old. Felony sexual offense with a child. We have several more accounts. This guy's rap sheet, there is something seriously wrong with this guy, and this is not James talking, but Ruthie talking. There is a way to take care of this situation that would send a clear message, but apparently, seeing we can't even get our laws enforced, but this is absurd. Now, in this case, in this Rodriguez, do you know, is this the same child?
No, I do not. I do not.
You know, because so many times it's the charges are of the same child, repeated sexual assault.
Right. In these court cases, we cannot determine just through the court case listing whether it was one child or multiple children.
Have you?
So the next one, number 51, he's got 14 charges.
Let me look.
Rape of a 13, 14, or 15 felony. I mean, it just goes on and on and on.
Yeah. Have you personally yourself ever attended one of these hearings?
No, but we have attended the hearings at the North Carolina State Legislature in an attempt to, we presented these facts. Every one of the North Carolina state lawmakers get a copy of this report every month, and they have been getting a copy of our crime report every month, every one for the past 7 years.
Number 29, Abel Gonzalez, court date 12/15. He has first-degree child rape, indecent liberties with a child. 3 separate charges on that, 4 separate charges just on that. Then he has felony statutory rape of a child greater than 6. Some of these, when you get the ones that are less than 6, I can't understand rape to begin with, much less a child. I
can't process that in my mind. I just can't do it.
Yeah, my brain just doesn't go there, Let's see here. Gervino Gustavino, number 32 here.
I believe, yeah.
Yeah. Incest child under age 13 greater than 4. Statutory rape greater than 6. Indecent liberties with a child. Some of these, I don't even know what some of these, I was going to try to find one of them and ask you what it really was, but what?
The last 4 charges of the Gustavino are sex offense in a parental role. So there's your case of parent, step-parent, raping their own child.
I just have such a hard time. Let's see here. Hector Cruz Machado. Court date. Thank you. You got to jump. If you know these, just feel free, James.
Well, it sounds right. So yes. Anyway, yeah.
And like this one now, this one stands out differently. It's indecent liberties with a child, and then first-degree rape of a child by an adult, and then solicitation by a computer and a peer. I mean, this guy's, it just goes on and on. And the fact is that they are in the country. Again, let me remind the listeners, they are in the country illegally. This didn't have to happen. to the best of our ability if our laws, our immigration laws, were enforced. I am so tired of hearing the pundits, the moles, the trolls, the lawless supporters and cheerleaders saying, well, they're not all like that. Well, you explain to me how you're going to figure out which one is just spit on our rule of law and entered at will, and which one is actually going to go out and rape a child. And once you can point them out to us so that our children, the human collateral, stops now, then we can have a discussion. Until then, enforce our laws on the books. Quit making new ones, because this is the result.
You're exactly right. And if, they like to use the phrase in their arguments, whatever the argument that may be, is if we can just prevent one, whatever. Well, if we can just prevent one of these, it's worth it. It's absolutely worth it. But the fact is, we can prevent 100% of these. Let me give you an example of, we're now into the January report. What is today, the 22nd of the month?
Yes.
We have already documented 88 individuals with 503 charges, separate charges. And we're not even to the end of the month yet.
So just for those that don't have your mind quite wrapped around this yet, for the month of January, you either got to come to the Ruthie Report, join me on Facebook, go to NC Fire's Facebook page if you want to continue to be updated on this. But what James just said is for December, what we're discussing tonight was 59 individuals. They are already, for this month, the month of January, how many?
88 separate individuals with 503 separate charges. And let me just give you the very first one. A stranger took indecent liberties with a child at a birthday party, for crying out loud. A stranger.
God.
Walked up to a kid at a birthday party, abducted them, and pretty much raped him. Just beyond me. It's absolutely sick. And this child is ruined for the rest of their life, emotionally, and who knows, physically ruined. This was a hell of a Christmas present for these kids this December. Just make you sick.
I wanted to discuss this one here too, number 53, before I try to find that other. It's crimes of nature or something is what I'm looking for. But number 53. Hello, Kamongo Seguin.
You got me on that one. Juan Carlos something, yeah. The last
Juan Carlos something.
The last
Number 53. And I really shouldn't laugh, but this is just so over the top. His charges are first-degree sexual offense with a child, felony. Felony first-degree rape of a child. Felony indecent liberties with a child. Felony incest under the age of 13. Felony second-degree kidnapping, and a misdemeanor charge of assault on a child under the age of 12. This is one sexual, illegal, alien, deviant, and those are just his charges. That 12-year-old, now say that 12-year-old's life, what down the road, then it's going to be that she was raped as a child, and then we're going to have all of this special treatment, and she's going to probably need counseling. There's probably going to be behavioral issues, just because of the trauma that she has gone through. All that could have been prevented if we enforced the law. The
emotional cost for her and the financial cost for us.
Yep.
We're going to have to pay for all that treatment.
I feel so bad for them.
She should get it. We should help her. However,
exactly,
it shouldn't have happened in the first place.
It didn't need to happen. It was preventable. If anybody in Congress are non-representing representatives in this administration, along with administration past, and those that think that they're going to run on 2016 on how we can all just hold hands, drink Kool-Aid, and sing Kumbaya together.
Exactly.
I'm sorry.
I want to give you the quick definition of taking North Carolina's definition of taking indecent liberties with a child, and it basically states a person is guilty of taking indecent liberties with a child if, being 16 years of age or more and at least 5 years older than the child, he or she either willfully takes or attempts to take any immoral, improper, or indecent liberties with a child, of either sex under the age of 16 for the purposes of arousing or gratifying sexual desire, or willfully commits or attempts to commit any lewd or lascivious act upon the body or any part or member of the body of any child of either sex under the age of 16. So that's what taking indecent liberties with a minor is in North Carolina.
You know, the one that I was looking for here is Martin Lopez, number 16, first-degree sexual offense with a child, indecent liberties with a child, and crime against nature. What in the hell is crime against nature? I mean, I'm assuming I know, but
yeah,
this is a little off. Yeah, it's I would say crimes against nature takes it just a step further. Let's just put it that way. It's
right. It's probably the actual penetration of a non-normal
and with objects and all that kind of stuff. I mean, it's just you know, James, I thank you 1,000 times over for continuing to keep us educated on, again, one state, 1 month only at the hands of illegal aliens, and it is the children in your reports that are paying the price for the failure to enforce our immigration laws. It's sickening, it's maddening. Now, listeners, if you want to get involved, if you're in North Carolina or even just want to help James and Maureen from wherever you are, go ahead and get a hold of them. However, if you want to start this in your own state, if you want to get the word out, if you want to help, and you have the time to do this, please contact James at ncfire@ncfire.info. ncfire@ncfire.info. James has already said he would be more than willing to help you out. James, please continue to send me those reports. Post them at the Ruthie Report Facebook page. I thank you so much, sir, for all you do.
Thank you, Ruthie. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me on. And like you said, I'd be more than happy to help anyone who would like to get started, maybe in their own state.
Stay vigilant. Stay safe. Thank you.
You do as well. Thank you, Ruthie.
All right. See you, my friend.
Bye-bye.
All right. Thank you, folks, for tuning in tonight. You know, I just have such a hard time with all of this. It takes me to a place you know, and I feel so deeply regrettable for what is happening to these children and what they are having to go through, and nobody seems to care. We care. I don't mean nobody. I mean we care. James care, Maureen care, I care, you care. But apparently the powers that be that could change this and stop this trauma, stop the child sexual assaults, apparently they either don't care or there's something stopping them from stopping it. Secure the border, enforce our immigration laws, and spare the children. All right, next week we're going to have my guest next week is going to be David, and what we are going to talk about is the topic of the refugee resettlement program. That is just going to blow your mind as well. You don't want to miss it. That's next week, same place, same location. I thank you very much for tuning in. We will see you next week.
What's your tolerance but lecture me? Is there no end to your own hypocrisy? Your God is power, you have no shame. Your only interest is political.